Peace, peace. This is Abdullah Ra, and today, I want to do a video for those who's on their spiritual journey, and trying to get spiritual sight. Okay, um, basically talking about how it's very important when you're on this path you have clarity and having vision on where you want to go. You can have uh, the intentions on doing a specific uh, journey work or pathing work, and have you may have the job that you desire. You may have a blueprint on where you want to go, but if you don't have clear sight and vision on those things, you may have a lot of uncertainty or being blindsided by things that may sideswipe you. So today I just want to do a video talking about Christ consciousness, seeing through the eye of Christ consciousness, right? Quick thing that happened a few days ago. Uh, I went into meditation, and in this meditation, I was just relaxed, and I could remember sitting down in this chair, and someone was on the side of me. It was a older woman. I would say an elder. She looked like she could have been somebody related to me, but I know she was up in age, and I could remember being in her presence. She spat on me, right? She spat on me like in my face area and on the top of my head. So in the dream, I thought it was, I'm saying, a form of disrespect. Now, a lot of times when you think about spit or spitting on someone, people will say, look at that as insult. Or I think like llamas or something, how they greet you, they spit on you. But when you think about saliva, right, you know, it's liquid that's on the tongue to keep you hydrated so you won't have cotton mouth and so forth, and to actually help you to be able to speak with intentions, right? So in that dream, I was really like baffled on why she spat on me. So by this time, I woke out of the meditation and I wrote it in my journal, and kind of like put it to the side and just didn't really pay it no attention, but it was still in my conscious. Like, why would this person spit on me? So some days went through, working or whatever, and it dawned on me, even in a passage of the Bible talking about Christ, right? In Christ, there's a passage where he held the blind man by using his spit and used the clay of the earth and made a paste and wiped it on his eye, healing the blind man, right? So in that process, a lot of times, um, even in certain occult phrases, they would say, if you want to hide something from someone, you do it in plain sight. And a lot of us go through the process of not seeing situations in plain sight, right? So I just want to like give in that part of having a dream is pretty much give like a ritual you can do. But again, when we are not seeing clear or sight or having clarity what's in front of you, a lot of times this can actually hinder you from going forward. But talking about the aspect of having sight of clear consciousness, right? Many people on this path, they may look at it, uh, okay, a lot of people also look at it, when they're having issues with vision. You have a lot of people who may have issues with vision, physical aspects of having issues with vision. A lot of times, this can come from many different things. such as the crown chakra, the third eye. Sometimes it can be, they say it will be hereditary eye conditions, the nervous systems, and sometimes um, you may lose sight in those different things physically. But to stay on track, I wanted to actually go into a form of a ritual that I got out of that meditation. Um, some of the items that you may need, that you're going to need. Um, and this ritual is going to be pretty much long. This is not something that's going to be you do it one time and that's it. Okay. So in order to do this particular ritual, it requires dedication and it also requires a form of discipline. Um, and one of the things, this is going to require you to actually have to fast. I can't really tell you how many days it's going to take because everybody uh, experience is going to be different, but you want to fast, okay? And in this fasting, um, you want to get away from eating processed food. Any form of processed food you want to actually stop. Fruits and vegetables is fine. You want to have that. Of course, you can drink waters, you can drink teas. So that's one thing that you want to do. The second, you want to have a few items such as a white candle, like the stick or the penny candles, not the 7-day one, but the stick candle. You may get a few of them, depending on how long this process may take. 3 days is good. That would be like the initiation of the process of actually opening up sight or the Christ consciousness of sight, right? And you can get like a white salsa plate or a white bowl. White represents purity. It always represents um, I said purification or Christ consciousness, but it's also associated with cooling, clearness, okay, and also is associated with the Orisha Obatala, okay. But going back to what I was saying, you also want to do a detoxification of the body as fasting, but also your mouth, because your mouth is the most important thing to doing this ritual in the saliva. Okay, so you want to clean your mouth from bacteria. So some of the things, if you can get, you could do peroxide, like a peroxide rinse. You want to get baking soda, the non-aluminum baking soda. You also can get the activated charcoal, and you want to get coconut oil. In the process, making your own toothpaste, you can use the baking soda, the activated charcoal, a few drops of water, and you want to do a mixture of it. You can add the coconut to give it more of a paste, and you basically want to brush your teeth with it. And then you can do like peroxide. They got a full grade peroxide, and you want to basically, I'll say 3 days. You can do 7 days. You could do 9 days, and you want to basically remove all the bacteria from your tongue, from your saliva. And you want to incorporate, the fasting, the fruits, the vegetables, no processed foods, no junk foods. And you want to incorporate a spiritual bath. Now, the spiritual bath can be very simple. You don't have to use a lot of different herbs and oils and stuff or colognes for it. You can do Epsom salt, sea salt. You can add baking soda in it because that exfoliates the skin. And you can use basil, dried basil. You can grind it. If you have a coffee grinder, you can grind it in a coffee grinder, and then you can boil some hot water and then add it into a bowl, pour it out, add into a bowl so it can actually steep. And then you want to take this bath for a remainder of days. Again, but this particular ritual, I can't really say how long it's going to take. Now, when you do that, you want to be in this spiritual bath for like 15 to 20 minutes. After you do that, you get out the bath, you air dry. You can have fresh sheets and your thing, and you want to actually go through a form of meditation. with the candle and the salsa plate. Now, this is where, some people say it may get a bit nasty. Um, Again, going through the ritual of fasting, uh, mouthwash, cleaning your tongue. Now, you want to have a sort of prayers. You want to have some prayers. A lot of times you read Psalms 23, and for when it comes to division of sight, you want to read Psalms 95. Okay. When doing the lighting of the candle, you want to get everything prepared, and you want to basically read Psalms 23, Psalms 95 for about 3 times. Now, when you do this, you want to get the salsa plate and the candle, and you basically want to get the lighter to mount it to the salsa plate. When you do this, after reading Psalms 23, Psalms 97, you want to actually get your fingers and get some of the saliva off your tongue. And then you want to anoint the wick with your saliva. Now, I'm doing that. Remember, words are power forms. Saliva has a healing properties. Some people in different traditions in hoodoo and voodoo, some people will actually use their saliva as a form of healing, and then some people do it as a form of cursing. Or a lot of times when you're speaking affirmations, when you're reading things, your word and your saliva begin to consecrate, and it's also going to be used as a liquid of anointing things as well. But what you're doing, you're using your own DNA and essence of intent, of words of power to do a specific thing, such as reading Psalms 23, Psalms 95. Now, in that process of doing this, I say seeing through the eyes of Christ consciousness, it's very important that you ground yourself in the process of those steps that I said. Now, the key thing, because I actually got this from a content creator. She's Triple Sag, Flowburn. And you may can find this video. I don't think it's up, but me saying it, some people who knows this particular thing that I'm going to say, it's been a few years. And I actually incorporate this in, kind of for me to amplify seeing through the eyes of Christ consciousness. And this is from Flowburn on YouTube, Triple Sag. This is her. A lot of times, people tend to say different things and they get it from different people. I'm not one of those people. I will acknowledge, the person who actually came up with this affirmation, right? And it's to be said, I'm breaking the code of disillusion. I choose to see what lies before me. Now, that can be said as a mantra when you're meditating to the candle. I would say when you're meditating, you're staring into the flame 5, 10, or 15 minutes. And what you want to do, you want to stare into the flame, focus on the flame. And the reason for that is to basically get your mind set on one thing and focus. When you focus, a lot of times your conscious mind will start distracting you. You may, I need to check on the food in the oven. I might to get this call, different things, but you still want to. The whole point of focusing on the flame is to get you to focus on that one thing. And in the process of doing that, also using that flow burn, breaking the code of dissolution, you can also say it as many times like a mantra. Now, by saying that, you have to be very careful. Even she said, when you're talking about breaking the code of dissolution, you will really literally start to see things for you. Now, some of these things may not necessarily be a physical manifestation of these outside things, but you will start to see the truth in things. You start to see the truth for what it is. This can be relationships that you should have already ended. This can be opportunities that many people that may not have seen, you have the advantage of using, right? So in this particular ritual meditation that I got from Spirit, I want to actually share this with you on helping you to seeing out of the eyes of Christ. And going back, um, talking about like as a child, uh, talking about an infant from the infancy stage into the age of 7. A child, looking at a diagram, you would see a child's skull, and on top of the child's skull, there's an opening, right? And in that opening, uh, at the crown, that's where a lot of light and a lot of information comes through. You know, they say something in reference when a child's from the infancy stage to 7, whatever that child's supposed to develop from their parents or whatever that speaking over the child, loving on the child, or giving certain traditions, traditions that this child may have. That's what, or whatever you speak over the child. Once that child reached the ages of 7, that skull begin to closes, and then more than likely that child will destiny will pretty much be sealed, right? Even in certain traditions, you know, when people get head rogations, they tend to actually put certain herbs and certain things on the top of the head to basically penetrate through that soft spot. Well, once it closes up, it's no longer soft, but in certain head rogations or cleansing, they normally put those items at that point of the head um, to either put the energy of that particular spirit there or mount that spirit to the head and so on. But again, this is just a quick tutorial on talking about seeing through the eyes of Christ consciousness. Again, be very careful of doing the affirmation of breaking the code of dissolution. I choose to see what lies before me, because you're going to start really seeing things for what it is. Now, some people who have the clairvoyant does really just mean clear sight or clairaudient, clear hearing, okay? And then you have clairsentient, I believe, where people can smell, clear senses. So doing this will actually help to clear, have clear sight on what lies before you. So this is just a real quick tutorial on seeing through the eyes of Christ. It's been a while since I did a video. I had a lot of things that I needed to get adjusted, so I'm here doing a quick video on talking about seeing through the eyes of Christ. So this is Ogula Ra. Peace.